Anyone who's watched Paris Saint-Germain this season, or more precisely, anyone who witnessed Luis Enrique's machine dismantle Inter Milan 5-0 en route to a historic treble, understands that when PSG stepped onto the Rose Bowl pitch today, they didn't just carry the air of European champions. They came with a message. Europe was merely the appetizer. The FIFA Club World Cup is the main course, a 7-game feast. Atletico Madrid got their first taste of that feast in just the opening half. PSG started exactly the way you'd expect from a Luis Enrique side, full throttle from the first whistle. The scoreboard still read 0-0 when Hakimi, Marquinhos, and Pacho fearlessly pushed up to the halfway line, spreading the play wide and feeding the attacking trio of Desire Doué, Gonzalo Ramos, and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. From the get-go, it was clear. Atletico were cast in the role of the team under siege. Simeone remained true to his identity, a disciplined 4-4-2 formation. But tonight, that discipline was lulled into a false sense of control by PSG's clever tempo and ball movement. The brilliance? Paris Saint-Germain didn't rush the final pass, nor did they waste time in sterile possession. Instead, from the very first minutes, they imposed a rhythm that turned Atletico's structure into a liability. Let PSG play their game, and you're already half beaten. To be fair, the La Liga side still had flashes of Simeone's spirit. In the 3rd minute, Julian Alvarez curled a dangerous free kick that forced Donnarumma into a watchful dive. A reminder, even when cornered, Los Colchoneros can still sting. But that early warning wasn't enough to shake PSG's composure. The turning point came in the 17th minute. Kvaratskhelia spun in the box and fired off a shot, denied by Oblak, as usual. But that moment, coupled with PSG's suffocating pressing, disrupted Atletico's ability to play out wide. 2 minutes later, PSG converted dominance into goals in the most Enrique way imaginable. A short combination near the edge of the box, a rebounding sequence, and then Fabian Ruiz, just minutes removed from a frustrated yellow card, stepped up and unleashed a thunderous strike into Oblak's net. 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain. Not a fluke, but a natural outcome of their complete control. From there, the Rose Bowl turned into PSG's personal theater. One team played football like it was rehearsal, alternating between counter-pressing, possession control, and attacking drills. The other scrambled, clashed, and prayed for a break, sending long balls to Griezmann or Alvarez and hoping for magic. But the true gulf in class revealed itself just seconds before halftime. Griezmann had a rare chance to pull one back, but instead fired a weak shot straight into Donnarumma's arms. That misfire sparked a lightning-fast counter. Vitinha collected the ball, glided straight through the heart of Atletico's midfield, untouched. By the time Oblak reacted, the ball was already in the net. 2-0. A clinical kill shot born from an opponent's mistake. That single sequence captured everything Luis Enrique has molded in this team. A group of seemingly free-spirited artists. Hakimi's speed, Vitinha's guile, Kvaratskelia's flair, Doué's improvisation, now operating with ruthless precision. A team that can lull you with finesse and then slice you apart without warning. And perhaps most frightening? This isn't even PSG at full strength. They were missing the likes of Bradley Barcola and Ousmane Dembélé. Gonzalo Ramos, while involved, lacked the sharpness to be truly decisive. In contrast, Doué tormented Llorente every time he touched the ball. For the full first half, PSG spun Atletico's defensive compass into chaos. On the touchline, Simeone's frustration grew with every headshake and grimace. Griezmann resorted to rough challenges, earning a yellow in the 26th minute. When Ruiz nearly broke away again, Atletico had to commit a tactical foul to stop him, a symptom of desperation, not control. By the time the whistle blew for halftime, no one doubted what they were witnessing. PSG weren't just here to compete. They were here to dominate. The 2-0 scoreline wasn't a death sentence just yet, but unless Simeone had something radical up his sleeve, Los Colchoneros were staring down a second half of growing misery. After the first half, there was no more of Diego Simeone's familiar nod of reluctant acceptance. He had seen enough. "We need courage and composure to turn this around," he told his players bluntly. But where does composure come from when the opponent across the pitch is a Paris Saint-Germain side hell-bent on crushing even the faintest flicker of hope? Koke, seasoned, battle-tested, was subbed in for Lino in a bid to shore up a midfield that Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz had effortlessly dismantled. But barely minutes after stepping on the pitch, Koke was shown a pointless yellow card for a clumsy foul on Kvaratskhelia, a seemingly minor detail that revealed the whole truth. Atletico were chasing shadows, impatient, devoid of ideas, dancing to the tempo Luis Enrique had set. Moments later, Kvaratskhelia was wreaking havoc again. A flick, a burst, a curling shot. Only the crossbar denied him PSG's third. Oblak made the save, but he didn't celebrate. He turned to his teammates, yelling in frustration. He knew it. Without sheer luck, Atletico would have collapsed right there in the 50th minute. Yet somehow, hope, however fragile, still lingered in this team molded by Simeone. In the 55th minute, Julian Alvarez seized on a delicate layoff from Simeone's own son, rifling the ball past Donnarumma. The Atletico supporters erupted like someone had poured gasoline on a dying fire. Then came the ice bucket, VAR. The replay showed Koke had committed a foul in the build-up. The goal was chalked off. Simeone could only smirk, clapping sarcastically at the replay on the big screen. Only he knew that was it. Backed into a corner, Simeone emptied his bench. Conor Gallagher, Angel Correa, Renildo, all thrown in like desperate final cards. But they barely had time to breathe. Correa and Renildo both picked up bookings within minutes. And then the breaking point. Clément Lenglet, who should have been a calming presence at the back, lost his head, overreacted, and was sent off. 10-man Atletico Madrid, exhausted, disoriented, had nothing left to resist PSG with. On the other side, Luis Enrique stayed calm, grinning under the bright Rose Bowl lights. Like a grandmaster making the final moves, he unleashed Mayulu, Mbaye, Lee Kang-in, Zaire Emery, Lucas Hernandez. The young guns burst onto the field like a pack of unleashed cubs, pushing Atletico deeper and deeper until they had no will left to fight. The crowd of 80,619 held their breath when Surloth was handed a golden chance to pull one back. The space in front of him stretched like an open plain, but the shot flew wide, harmlessly. The camera caught Simeone, slumped over, arms spread, eyes lost. In that moment, everyone knew Atletico weren't just outplayed, they were broken. Then came the dagger. Minute 87. Hakimi broke the offside trap, faced Oblak one-on-one but didn't shoot. He passed across. Atletico's defender flailed and missed. The ball fell to Mbaye, then to Mayulu, a soft tap but enough to finish off a decade-long empire built by Simeone. PSG's third came that easily, but Paris wasn't done. This time it was Le Normand's handball. VAR again. The referee pointed to the spot. Lee Kang-in stepped up. No nerves. A rocket into the net. 4-0. Every drop of hope Atletico brought to the Rose Bowl evaporated under PSG's dazzling lights. As the final whistle blew, PSG's fans erupted, chanting Vitinha's name, the man of the match. If there's a global vote today for the best midfielder in the world, it's hard to see anyone else taking it from the Portuguese maestro. In the shadow of Diego Simeone, the contrast was stark. Atletico, once a symbol of gritty defiance, now stood broken against a PSG side smooth and sharp as a freshly honed blade. Tonight, at the Rose Bowl, one truth echoed: the Champions League crown was only the beginning. Paris Saint-Germain has arrived at the Club World Cup to turn it into their private stage of dominance. There are no more doubts. PSG has entered this tournament like true Champions League royalty. 2 goals in the first half, 2 more in the second. That clean 4-goal statement wasn't just how they opened the tournament. It was a warning. To Botafogo, to Seattle Sounders, to every European giant still dreaming of stopping them. And here's the kicker. PSG pulled off this demolition job without Ousmane Dembélé. All they needed was composure up front and a Vitinha performance that dictated every rhythm of the match. From Fabian Ruiz's opening strike to Vitinha's solo brilliance to the composed finishes by Mayulu and Lee Kang-in, it was a showcase of just how deep this PSG squad truly is under Luis Enrique. Across the pitch, Atletico stuck to the formula that once made them great: deep blocks, counter-attacks, and prayers for a miracle. But tonight, the Rose Bowl laid it bare. Those old tricks don't work when Simeone's magic is gone. His players made unforced errors, lost their heads at crucial moments, and cracked just when they thought they'd found a spark. VAR didn't just cancel a goal, it deepened the wound. Julian Alvarez's goal erased, Sørloth's miss haunting. The more they played, the clearer the tragedy became. But here's the most frightening part. This PSG doesn't play the chaotic roller coaster football of old. They lull you to sleep with side passes, stretch you out, wait for your line to crack, and then they strike. And when you're drained, they take off the stars and bring on fresh legs like Mayulu and Lee Kang-in to stamp out the last flicker of resistance. Paris Saint-Germain came to America to dominate, to make this tournament their stage, to make nights like the one at the Rose Bowl feel routine.